favorite road in the whole entire world.
Hot chocolate in the Quincy. This is human hair?
Yeah.
Nature is more than all of us think. Look at how messy.
These are all tribal flags. Okay, so this vlog is going to be a bit different. As our family's year-long road trip continues, we're going to provide a list of 10 fantastic things we did as a family in South Dakota. So our hip camp host has just driven down her road. She saw us coming, I guess, in the distance. That's how few cars there are around here. And now she is having us follow her into her property. It is such a beautiful sunset out here on the plains. Crystal, nice to meet you again. Were you born in South Dakota?
Oh yeah.
Here's where I unknowingly ask a culturally insensitive question, and our host is patient enough to explain this to me. How many acres do you have?
Okay. Now, okay.
You don't have to answer if you don't
Well,
want.
here's the deal.
Yeah.
Just to give you a heads up, it's just like asking me how much money I make every year. It's kind of rude.
Oh, I'm sorry. First morning in South Dakota. Maya wants me to introduce you all to Bob. Bob is the friendliest cat we've ever met. Super personable. Oh, hello. Our host was excited to share the historical buildings on their farm. This would be your school if you were in this town 100 years ago. So this is how kids used to pack their lunches. Look at each kids get chalkboards. The dunce cap. So this is the dunce corner.
This is the original 1906 homestead shanty.
Guys, you're stepping back in time. Farming is a massive part of the economy and culture in South Dakota. Thus, staying on a farm is an absolute must if time allows. This is human hair?
Yeah. When they brush their hair, they'd save it in here. Then they'd have little tiny wires that they learned how to make all these different fancy stitches on there.
Fresh eggs, farm fresh eggs?
Our daughter's jerky.
Your daughter's jerky.
Yeah.
There's a blizzard coming our way, so we gotta get out of here pretty early. I wanted to stay on this farm a bit longer. We said goodbye to our fantastic host and headed towards South Dakota's tourism epicenter, the southwest corner of the state, where we plan to hunker down, wait out the storm, and at the same time have access to showers, water, and bathrooms. We're just trying to get to our campsite before this blizzard really hits. At 10 miles to go. What's the weather gonna be for the next few days?
Nasty.
I need more dramatic.
We're gonna be buried.
We are out in the blizzard. Teo and I found some shovels, and we are working on making a pathway to the showers and bathrooms. Maybe it's a futile attempt, but at least it's some exercise and a change of scenery. Blizzard workout, preventing myself from going stir crazy in the trailer for 40 hours. Raise your hand if you're going to play in a blizzard. Wow. Hot chocolate in the Quincy, I love it. Tastes even sweeter in the cold after all that work. The blizzard has passed. It's our first day of good weather. Once the weather cleared up, we were blown away by all the incredible outdoor and underground adventures possible in the area. So the second thing we did was got outside and hiked. Maya's getting some experiential knowledge into the value of increasing your surface area on snow with snowshoes. We got 4 miles of snowshoeing. That's pretty serious. Adding another family experience to the long, long list from this year. It's like a 32 or 34 degree high today. It's gonna be almost 80 in 3 or 4 days. Your world is your drinking fountain. I think snowshoeing and powder is the perfect way for two people who have a very different hiking pace to really get what they want out of a hike. If you're the leader, it is like double the exercise as person in the back. And then if you're like 2 or 3 or 4 people back, it just gets easier and easier because everything's all packed down. Maya's got some big feelings to share on top of another mountaintop.
Nature is more than all of us think.
If it gets dark and we're still out here, we get to use our headlamp and see what it's like to snowshoe in the dark. Not many kids get to see what that's like. For the first person that goes across the bridge, it is deceivingly wide. We've got our first star out. 5.5 miles. We made it back to Big Blue. Now we're gonna head back, have dinner, go to bed. We are all exhausted over here, aren't we, guys? We're at the South Dakota School of Mines Museum. We're at the Woodland Republic Brewing in Rapid City.
So we got carrot cake, blueberry French toast, coconut lava cake, Uncrustables, and our greens. I know it's beer, but it tastes remarkably like blueberry French toast. It even smells like it.
Blueberry French toast. Welcome to
Badlands National Park.
So I think this park is an open trail park, which means you're not relegated to official hiking trails. You can hike anywhere you want. This is terra firma? All right.
This one is definitely covered.
I'm not used to a mud season, AKA spring. Let's see the leap. Come on, hurdler, high school hurdler.
It doesn't help if you don't have solid ground.
To leap off of. Badlands National Park, like many national parks, puts on full display the incredible geologic history of shifting tectonic plates and then water's non-stop work of carving into the land. Carving for so many years, it's hard for us to comprehend this time on such a grand scale.
The mountains are so big and the trees are so big, but everything is like shrunk down.
The water flows in right here, and then it comes under this snow and ice, and then out over there.
We pulled over to hang out with the prairie dogs.
Oh, you can hear them, just listen.
Squeak, squeal. And that they raise their tails when they do that. Hear the prints in the snow. And here is a sound chart of the prairie dogs.
Now it's time for some dirt. So these are all the workers that worked on Mount Rushmore. A lot of collaboration, guys. Was the mastermind behind it all. Representing the birth of the country, the growth of the country, the development of the country, and the preservation of the country.
Every inch on the model was exactly 1 foot on the real thing. A blast of dynamite echoes through the Black Hills. Hundreds of pounds of rock descends from the mountain. Soon to become an American icon, this larger-than-life project has come to an end. After 14 years of hard work, the memorial is ready to open. The thing that surprised me most was that it was not actually finished. They were planning on making the lower half, but had to stop because the rock was delicate.
We are heading up to Custer State Park. This week is the first week in a very long time where we have really beautiful warm weather. Although not well known on a national level, Custer State Park has more to offer than many of the national parks in the United States. We are on the wildlife loop, and there is wildlife all around us. We found the begging burros. Look at this.
Look how
These donkeys are the descendants of work animals used in the mines way back in the day. Although wild, they're still genetically predisposed to be friendly to humans. These bison came running to lick Big Blue. The bison in Custer State Park were very interested in seeing if they could score some salt by licking the side of our vehicle. What are we admiring on our truck?
The new artwork created by the bison.
Our bison licks from yesterday? Recreating? Don't get too close and actually lick it. Crazy Horse Monuments Museum was a collection of artifacts from different Native American tribes from across North America. They made us many promises, more than I can remember. They never kept but one. They promised to take our land, and they took it. This is a scale model that is 1/34th the size of the finished statue of Crazy Horse. But Crazy Horse is not done. They're still working on it actively. They're up there right now working on it. Crazy Horse said he was going to come back as stone to his people. And here he is. Did you hear earlier, he was saying that with new technologies and new tools, they are able to work 7 times faster on this than they were when they started. Start the countdown. The entire perimeter, these are all tribal flags of different Native American tribes. They said this was the original fidget toy. From this one animal, the Indian had everything he needed for his daily sustenance. Meat for food, hides for clothing and lodges, robes were used as winter blankets, bones were used for tools, organs provided drinking and cooking vessels. The horns were made into utensils. No part of the buffalo was wasted. The Native Americans burned the dung as a cooking fuel and for heat. It says the Plains tribes used dried buffalo dung for diaper powder as well. The US government tried to eradicate bison in this area because they knew the Native Americans depended on them. Look at all those skulls. So by exterminating the buffaloes, the tribes would be conquered. Upon leaving the Crazy Horse Monument, we headed underground to where the Lakota are said to have emerged to the surface of the earth.
Welcome to Wind Cave National Park.
Our 3rd subterranean national park.
I really want to play like a life-size game of Operation with the like.
Oh, this is the boxwork. This is the most common one that they said we'll find down there.
This is a formation called boxwork. Wind Cave has about 95% of the world's known boxwork. And there are the badges for you. Great work.
Wind Cave.
Look at their hair blowing in the wind.
Wow, who could even fit in there?
We are on Rankin Ridge. We're at a fire lookout, so it's a super windy day. We're gonna try climbing this thing. The highest point in Wind Cave National Park. How you doing? Tell me some of the animals we've seen so far.
Prairie dogs, pronghorn antelope, begging bulls, hawks, deer.
We're going for a night bike ride. You gotta trust me on this, it's gonna be amazing.
Way outside my comfort zone.
Doing the wildlife loop. Made it up the mountain, darling. Not bad for your first night ride. And there's ice now. Okay. Ice everywhere.
It's 80 degrees today.
It was 80 degrees today. How is this still frozen? Oh good, it's ended. Or not. I thought we were done with the snow and ice. Not the downhill I was hoping for. All right, a gap in the ice and snow. We're back on the bikes. Back on snow and ice. Back on the bike, back on snow, back on dirt, back on ice and snow. We are back on dirt. It's gonna be a long night. Back on dirt. Back on dirt. All right, back on dirt. I think we got some dirt road with some southern exposure now. Stuff like this makes for a good story later, darling. Thank goodness we got kids that sleep like rocks, huh? This hill's a killer. Made it to the top. We made it back. 16.5 miles, not bad, darling, for your first night ride. It is worth noting that I am biking in a t-shirt. This exact spot a week ago was 8 degrees at this time. I've earned my ice cream, my midnight ice cream.
Welcome to
Jewel Cave
National Monument.
It's our 4th subterranean national park unit. Several ways to measure a cave. You can measure how deep it is, big it is, or long it is. It's sedimentary rock again, bud. Lots of limestone. A 23-foot long piece of cave bacon. Yes. Science lesson for the day. Another junior ranger book. Not a bad classroom.
There's your badges. And the patch for you.
It's our last adventure in South Dakota. I'm definitely gonna miss the Black Hills of South Dakota. This area is definitely a special area. It literally looks like someone just like shoveled snow onto the trail. A rock scramble I'm cool with, but an ice scramble? You did it, dude! Yeah! You did it!
Place the national park.
You want to lobby? You could lobby the government, Maya. Hey, we need to make Custer State Park into a national park ASAP.
And change the name.
And change the name. Do something a bit less offensive for the native peoples of the area. Where are we going tomorrow? You remember? What's the name of the state? Starts with an N, ends with an A. Yeah.
Nebraska.
There it is. Wind Cave sticker is going in a different spot. It's going on a water bottle because I just think it's the coolest sticker. I love places that surprise me. South Dakota was one of them. The state was full of friendly people and provided us with protected places to explore, important history and culture, and weather that challenged us, all of which made our stop here incredibly memorable.